28 viewers waiting for this to get underway.
It's been quite popular.
Wow. Usually only get that for Bathurst. Good to see you all here. The current order is Russley. Secluna's actually jumped up into second. Oh wait, no, hang on, because people are leaving, that's why. So yeah, Chris Refalo is second. Daniel Secluna third, Alex McEwen fourth, and then Dylan Barton, Nick Mello, Will Newell, and Cameron McLeod. Those are two names we haven't seen before. And then Nicholas Gregg and Riley Smith round out the top 10.
Yeah, lots of good new names in here in amongst the usual suspects that we've seen at VRL before. So it's yeah, it's a very interesting field. That it does make for a lot of questions as to where people are going to end up, because you've just got a little bit of unpredictability. Rusty, they're really dominating that timing tower, and but the gap's just not huge. Top 5 all very close together, and then not a big gap down to the next drivers. So it's going to be a very interesting race.
What was that, sorry?
It's Max Spivey in the background, the race director for this evening. So we know what's going on there. We'll be able to hear the calls of safety car and etc. And now we're just looking at a white. Whoa, that's not good. I should see some of these liveries. We'll get a chance to once the next qualifying session comes up.
Yeah, it's a really, really good looking field this year. Lots of guys have really pulled out all the stops and designed some really cool stuff.
Not getting car noise.
User joined your channel.
Other race director gone.
Wow, okay. Will you give me 1 second? I'll
Yeah. Was he the safety car?
Couple of
Left your channel.
Right.
Yes, sorry.
V8's still very quiet. Unusual. My audio's been playing up just in general. You'll notice we're very quiet. Actually, you probably have to turn your volume up. So, we'll get the next server up, and the next qualifying session will be up in just a sec.
The very scripted.
Okay. Dead set, my OBS is having a cry about volume. So, I mean, if I start up a Assetto Corsa this time and the sound's right, then maybe? Who knows? Okay. I think we've got a little bit more noise. A little bit.
Yep. Qualifying starts in 30 seconds.
There we are, there's a camera near the front. Okay, almost ready to get back underway with the second qualifying session this evening. Mike's there.
I'm here.
Hanging out.
Yep.
10 seconds.
This is typical first round tomfoolery.
Qualifying has started.
Okay, we're away and going once more. So, Ethan Cale, Jack Meredith, Luke Di Berardino, Nash Murdock and Noah Dundalk are the first cars out onto the track, and we'll get a chance to look at some of their liveries. Meanwhile, here's Ethan Cale as he comes down into turn 4. I tell you why. Okay, so this is what's happening. My OBS for desktop audio will not go above minus 37, whatever the meter says. Whatever I do, right? So that means that mic is really, really, really quiet, and I've got to turn my mic down, my microphone down a fair way to compensate. It's bizarre, and I'm not sure what's happening.
Can they hear the cars though? I mean, that's the important thing.
It looks like you might be able to. Anyway.
Let me have a quick check. I'm going to have a listen in to
Sure.
what our viewers are hearing.
This is Jack Meredith, by the way. Sid Chrome car. If in doubt, pump them out, says Gandhi on the dash. And he starts falling down the timing charts. Quite a few Haltech cars in this one. Here is the usual from Nash Murdock. Paddy Donnelly in his camel livery.
almost no volume there on the stream.
So I may have to take it down afterwards, like boost up the audio and then re-upload it somehow.
Basically zero car audio. It's silent.
That's the other thing. When a car drives past, it just cuts out afterwards. I'm getting plenty of car audio through my ears. I don't know what's going on. If I turn that up anymore, then my head's going to explode. Oh well, round one. Teething issues. The dash down the main straight to see who's going to have the fastest time after the first run. Jack Meredith wins it at the moment, 29.964. There's a lot faster to go though. And quite low track grip, it's only 96%. Eddie Bestwick up to pole, provisional pole, and then beaten by Daniel Cicluna. Gorgeous HRT livery on those VF Commodores. As Bernie Russley now comes up into second, promptly followed by Dylan Barton. And then Alex McEwen and Nick Mello a little bit further behind them. Teammates McEwen and Mello, by the way, for Project 4 Flair Alliance.
Yeah, great bunch of cars, those ones. Refalo goes to the top.
0.4 of a second quicker.
Quite a good lap, 1:28.4, but definitely seemed faster here.
He's making some statements, that's for sure.
Hasn't improved there on the first sector, but he's not far off. Yeah, his second sector comes up.
That is loud as...
You can hear cars on the stream now if you have it that way.
It's a bit better. I don't know how that's going to work out with you though. We'll see. Riley Smith for Speedway Action. Him and Nicholas Gregg in a team. I don't know where Nick Gregg is actually. He's not in the top 20. Riley Smith is currently in 6th, and here comes Nicholas Gregg. Pair of orange cars. Now, one is usually blue and one is usually black, I believe. So it's quite difficult to see much difference in the dark, though.
Nicholas Gregg is to be having a black car tonight.
Well, it's what it looks like. The blue isn't really showing up. Playing around with audio on the fly.
Yeah, just remix it as we go.
We'll get it eventually.
We'll get there. Round 2 it'll be amazing.
Exactly. We are 5 minutes. Alex McEwen is off, and I think he's hit the wall. That's down at the second corner. Wow, has he done that?
perhaps a little overconfident going into the braking area there.
Found the wall?
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't think that part was intentional.
You're watching Daniel Cicluna as he comes around the last corner. Is he going to pull into the pit lane? Yes, he is. Okay.
Imagine so.
Try and find, is McLeod maybe gearing up for a lap here? No, he's not. Pulls over.
Looks like Rossley, Mello, Beswick, Smith, Greg, a lot of people on outlaps. Button, they're all out on outlaps at the moment, so probably see some more times come a little bit later.
Here's Alex McEwen. Okay, coming down the main straight. We're going to see the big fast first corner, which is proper ballsy. Run
Yeah,
out
take a
all
lot
the
of
way to the
commitment.
edge. And down into turn 2. Trying to find the apex there is difficult because it's kind of
Especially-
two apexes.
Yeah, it's always a double apex corner, and especially in these cars, which just have very loose rear ends to start with, yeah, it's a challenge.
For turn 5, I can't put two wheels over that yellow line anymore.
Yep, stricter track limits have come in from the initial ones we set in practice. We're not seeing too many people with track cars.
A little bit of a squirm for Alex there as he comes now down into turn
Goes
8.
fast. Goes faster. It's level 9,000.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Hundreds.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that for a moment now.
Last corner. We can use a bit more down the edge of the track, on the edge of the track there, at that last corner. And now McEwen pulls into the pit lane. Some of his peers are out onto the track. Nick Mello currently sits, well now he sits 5th because Dylan Barton's just jumped up into 4th place. See if Mello can take the position back.
Refalo goes faster again. Jumped up his time.
So close between him and Cicluna at the moment, only... Well, actually, no, it's just changed, isn't it? Yeah, so he's grown out the margin by an extra 0.2.
Yep.
0.03, I think, before.
Much the same as we saw in practice as well. Those two quite close together on the timing tower, so everybody's game.
Last minute of qualifying. Oh, Cicluna, has he got a bump from the back? I think he... Has he?
Not sure what's happened there.
It
Definitely
looked
up the
like
track.
it, but I'm
Is it?
not sure who it would be.
Finish up your lap. Go on the races.
Anyway, checker flag is out. Where's Bernie Russell going to end up? Let's have a look. He's going to come out of turn 8. See second sector time. It's 2 tenths down. So with the last series of corners now. Oh, is that a big slide out the last corner and didn't get all of it?
A little bit of one. See what he comes up.
Yeah, not going to improve.
Doesn't quite make it. Wylie Smith still out. Mello, Beswick, McEwen all still out.
So the gaps have opened up a bit at the front. Here's Riley Smith, he currently sits in 5th place. And now down to the line. Going to improve on that? No, he's not. 3 tenths down, ultimately, on his previous time. Righto, that concludes the qualifying session. And we are almost ready for the first race of the new year.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
See how my computer handles a race start after so long. I suggest not well. Alright, we'll be back shortly with the first race. It'll be a 13 lap sprint, and it's coming up just after this. Righto, welcome back. We are almost set to go for the first race of the new season. So we'll just have a quick look at our starting grid before then. I'm at the front. Why am I at the front? No, I'm not. Okay, good. Bernie Russley starts alongside Chris Refalo and Daniel Cicluna, Alex McEwen, Dylan Barton, Nick Mello, Will Newell, and then Cameron McLeod and Nicholas Gregg, followed by Riley Smith, Noah Dundalk, Scott Garrick, Eddie Bestwick, Sam Sargerson, Jack Meredith, Nash Murdock, Ethan Cale, Luke De Berardino, and then Jack Callister.
Next time you hear from me will be the first lap
and then Vic Chan, Paddy Donnelly, Daniel Mangan, Aaron Refalo, Josh Hill, and then we've got Lee Childs yet to come in, and then Adam Betts, Harrison Gould, and Kobe Williams.
Second time this happened.
Good looking. Good.
Can you shut up, Mello?
28 strong. 1 minute 30 left to go. I want to apologise in advance for the the performance of my computer.
No.
As they all barrel into the first corner. You may remember a couple of years ago, everyone barreled into the second corner and overshot it. Every single one of them.
Yeah, we'll have to see if
hilarious.
They do better this time. Definitely not short on pace, all these guys. They've all, you know, even the guys down the bottom of the order, they're all doing very good times. Like, there's just chances for everybody here.
They're not short on practice either. It's been many laps turned over the last 2 weeks in preparation for this. And
yeah, just crazy.
Despite that, we're only going to have 13 here. So almost set to get underway for the first race of the new season, with Russley there on the inside in car 81 and Chris Refalo on the outside in car 20. Lights are going to be coming on now. Let's get ready for the start. Away and racing in 2022. Coming down towards the first corner now was Russley, who got a little bit of a wiggle off the line, and Refalo's going all the way around the outside. McEwen's in third place, and then Cicluna in fourth. Russley's had to go defensive coming into the first corner, and Refalo's gotten onto the... Oh, sorry, Russley's gotten onto the grass, and he's well off. He's shot well off. And we are already under safety car conditions. It was Refalo who went to defend the inside, and Russley tried to stick his nose in, but went too far onto the grass, slid out, and in the background there was another car that was spun round. I couldn't quite see who it was. Could you see that? Alright, regardless, so out comes the safety car on the first lap. It's only a 13 lap race, so a fair bit of it's going to get eaten up here. Cicluna is in second place now, having gotten past McEwen. As we come down the main straight, we're going to see the safety car pull out. Newell is up into fourth with Barton fifth, and then Gregg sixth, Mello, Sargerson, and Meredith and Smith. I think Sargerson's had quite a good start actually. Let's have a look at the progress. Yeah, up 7 positions. So's Jack Meredith and Donnelly and Aaron Refalo. 12 and 11 positions for those two. Lee Child's also up 11. Head a bit further back, we have. Yeah, I think it was Dendulk who was around. Whether or not he got a tap, I'm
Who's the
not
front now?
too sure.
Nick's the front now, yeah? Oh, if you say you were ahead or behind.
They're trying to resolve a dispute in race control at the moment between Nick Gregg and Nick Mello over 6th and 7th place. Whoever was in front at the time of the safety car. And the pack's starting to pile up now. Safety car will be in a moment. I'll be back in just one sec because I need to fix something. You won't miss a moment.
You hear me now?
You're taking control of this.
Yeah, all good now. We are just about to get back underway with the safety car pulling into the pits.
Oh, yeah,
Deegan Mellor driving the safety car, by the way, first time tonight. And Max Spivey race directing first time tonight. So, thanks very much to them. They seem to have a good handle on the situation at the moment. Chris Refalo from Secluna, McEwen. Is in third, and Nicholas Gregg has jumped up. Why?
Not sure what's happened there.
It's unusual.
Possibly an error in the time tower. Perhaps he's missed a microsector.
I hope not. I don't know how he'd miss one. To be honest.
That seems to have corrected itself now.
Okay.
Just a set of courses. We're going for a start anyway. Tear down.
Race restart. Chris Refalo has the lead of the race, despite what your timing tower may say, as he rolls into turn one. The battle is going to be on for second place in the background with Secluna and McEwen.
Very aggressive on the brakes there, McEwen. Holds it up well. Doesn't look like we've had any major incidents further down the field though, which is good to see.
We're on board with Will Newell, who's on the back of McEwen. He's done quite well for himself, actually, driving the Red Bull. And the VF Commodore.
Yeah, up 4 positions I believe. But I'm not sure of how accurate our timing is at this point. According to Wylie, he's up 4 positions.
Well, Yeah, mine's just shit the bed. Simple as that.
It's alright, I'll relay the position changes as I read them, and hopefully mine are more accurate. It's alright, we'll get through it. Refalo is still leading the race, followed by Cicluna, McEwen, Newell, Greg, Barton. We've got some change of position back. Wylie Smith and Jack Meredith very close together. Paddy Donnelly also not far behind them. So
Oh, look at this pack.
Dangerous combo, yep.
If they're going 3 abreast down into the first corner, Donnelly decides to back out of it, but Meredith and Smith are still going to go side by side. Oh, and, there's someone out on the grass in the background as well. This is a purple car.
Yeah, I believe that's Erin Farlow. Yep, gone
Right,
in
there you
the
go.
background there, unfortunately dropping a number of positions. So ideal situation there. Not sure what the cause was, but she has dropped a position. Doesn't look like any damage or anything back on track.
Smith is leading quite the train here from Meredith and Donnelly, and then behind them it's Murdock and one of the HRT cars as they come up through turn 6 at the moment.
Yeah, that's McLeod behind
McLeod.
them. Lost a bunch of positions since the start as well, but holding their own. Paddy Donnelly, the biggest mover and shaker here, he's moved up 11 positions. He's right up there. Refalo continues to lead. He's taking a reasonably commanding lead. The gap to Cicluna is growing, but I don't think Cicluna's going to be giving up anytime soon, so we'll have to see what kind of tack he puts on as Q also chases around the rear. We're all very close in that top 6 there, top 7, all the way down. It's really down to Smith there before there's any real significant gap, and Meredith is still hot on his tail. Paddy Donnelly also there, but Paddy Donnelly getting challenged at the moment by McLeod behind. Very close in the HRT Commodore.
You'll have to keep me updated on the battles because I've got literally a list of names on the left hand side. That's it.
Team Moga.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. Keep it
Bit
up to
primitive.
date. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, so the position changes should be reflected on that timing tower, and I'll update things like tyres, pit stops, and all that sort of thing. Who's changing positions? But yes, we're chasing. We've got Victor Chan getting hassled. He's down in 22nd place by Rustley, who is desperately trying to gain back all that time that he lost on the first lap, putting up a big challenge. Chan making that Nissan as wide as he possibly can, though, and defending quite heavily. He's not afraid to give that position up, and Manjin behind as well. Very close, almost at an overtake, but backs out of it. Very close behind there. Oh, they get in. They touch doors a bit there, Manjin, and I believe that's
Sten Duk, isn't it?
Duk, yeah. Getting very close. And Duk goes for it. Oh, he's messed it up completely, and he's off the track. He's out of here.
So Chan managed to avoid it.
Yeah,
up a little bit of the process.
There.
Straight through with Sten Duk. So Bernie Rustley is starting to make a little bit of progress. It's a short race though. It's lap 7 of 13. Hang on. Is Eddie Eddie Bestwick? Is he seriously racing with a broken hip?
I mean, if he is.
Wow.
Amazing.
That sucks there, isn't it?
That's certainly a story if he is, and I'm impressed. I can definitely race, and I've got a perfectly working hip. Not much having at the top. Refalo is tearing away here, just continuously increasing the gap to Cyclone. Cyclone's still giving the chase, but not quite catching as we're...
This was Childs off at the last corner.
Yep.
And is now dropping down towards the back of the field.
Yeah, it was a rough one. Very easy corner to get wrong there. It's a tough section getting up into the last corner, and only takes a little bit of extra throttle as you exit, and the cars around. These things are very loose at the rears. And now he's got Dendel right on his tail. Oh, and Rusty's off. Rusty's gone off. He's gone off about turn 4, I believe. Yeah, he's right off the track. And spun around. Not a good race for him.
Any idea what might have happened?
It looks like he just spun it. Yeah, he lost the rear. It could have been contact with another driver, but I didn't see anybody particularly close.
It's quite easy to dip one wheel in the grass there, I think.
Exactly.
So that,
yeah, and I think driver error there, but have to see what reports come out.
Well, Compound's a bad race. It's only 24, I think, of the 28 who get points in a sprint race. So
yes. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be finishing in the lower part of the positions. But a lot of people making some good progress thanks to a couple of errors. Shout out to Josh Hill, he's up 9 positions in 16th at the moment. He's improved and managed to stay out of trouble. Sargason the same, gone up 7 positions overall. And yeah, there hasn't been too many people losing out terribly. It's just Rusty, Dental, Beswick, and Fab's lost a couple of positions, but almost everyone else has gained over the race. As the Barton and Mello still going at it. They've pretty much stayed in their qualifying positions. They haven't moved too much, but still going strong up there at the top of the field. Everybody just trying to... Looks like everybody's settling down just a little bit, but they're still pushing.
Will Newell is driving with half a leg and a broken T6 in his back. Okay, I think someone's stirring us up.
That would be insane. It would be genuinely impressive. Kale has moved up, overtaking Josh Hill, but Josh Hill is still up for a challenge there.
So this is where the action is, around 15th and back. Everyone else in front is starting to spread out a bit.
It's sort of what happens when you get such a high level of pace all the way down the order. You know, some of the slightly slower drivers have a little bit more difference between them, and it just creates that little bit of action. But Haley's doing a big move. Going right, he's trying to go around the outside of Victor Chan. He's holding his line, doing well. Manjin looking behind to take advantage, maybe going on the inside, going very deep.
Oh!
No, way too deep there, Daniel. Way too deep. And he has taken Victor Chan out and taken both of them out. That is going to be, I imagine Chan going to be not happy about that. And yeah, perhaps being a little bit too daring there was Manjin.
That was a
back end of the field.
It was a pretty serious accident. He dived down the inside and sent Chan half up into the air. And well, now both of them are 24th and 25th. I think everyone else got out of that okay. Here's Bestwick on the back of Kale.
Yep, chasing now. Both doing quite well. They've sort of been holding these positions here. Coming around towards the final bend now. Very cool. Beswick got a little loose going into the second last turn there, but makes it through okay and doesn't cause any damage to anybody else. I imagine we will see surely Manjin and
Oh, he's not, is he? He's looking for a move. He sets it up at turn 1, doesn't take it at turn 1. And down at turn 2, dives it. It's got too much heat underneath that car, and Bestwick went off wide. He's got the inside for turn 3 though, and will allow him to muscle Carl out of the way and win that battle. So up into 19th for him.
Yep. Good move there. Nice, good car control to keep the power down there and battle the understeer through it. So very well done. Nice clean pass.
Battle for 8th at the moment with Riley Smith looking on the back of Sam Sargison. So it's
very close together. Riley Smith sort of prodding at the back of him, not going to let him go. Chasing down the straight now. We'll see if he takes advantage on that first corner, as we've seen a lot of people try and do. This does seem to be a reasonably popular overtaking spot tonight, but we'll have to see. It looks like he's being smart about it, and he doesn't have many laps left, so if he's going to make a move, he's got to do it very soon if he wants to jump up into 8th position. Have a look up the inside there. Maybe just trying to unsettle Sargison a bit here, just trying to probe and prod him and maybe force an error, but Sargison holding their line and doing quite well.
There's quite a few groups of cars. There's a car off. Is that Sengel? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Sengel is off the track. I'm not sure where
That's a bit further up.
On back to pits, yeah.
So the leaders have just gone past, and here they are. Daniel Secluna's caught right up to the back of Chris Refalo. Could be a challenge for the lead here.
Yep, I think maybe Secluna's saved a little bit of gas for the last lap, hoping to make a one last move here as they come around the final bend. It's going to be a close finish here, I think. Come around, getting ready to load up for turn 1 on the final lap of the race.
This is the big overtaking spot up into turn 2, but I think Secluna might be a little bit too far back to give it a go here. There are other chances further down the track. We'll keep an eye on what goes on.
Refalo got a little loose there onto turn 2, but holding it well. Coming around. It doesn't quite look like Secluna has him at any point on the track. They're both very much matched in pace. I think it's really up to hoping for a mistake, and Refalo's not particularly known for making too many big mistakes.
Oh, Secluna had a bit of a mistake there on the exit of turn 5. The car got out of shape, and it's going to lose him just a little bit of time.
Around now, we'll see how they do. This is also a popular spot to gain a bit of time if you can be a bit braver under brakes. And final lap, now's the time to do it. So Secluna, with both of these guys, fairly far up the road considering the short length of the race, but he does have to be, conservative. He doesn't want to lose second place with a silly spin. But I think it's in the bag for Refalo here unless he makes a mistake on his final corner, which he doesn't. He does it nice and smoothly. He comes around and he takes the win.
So Chris Refalo picks up where he left off and scores the first win of the new season. Now, it's fairly close between Barton and Nick Gregg by the end there. Only 1.5 tenths separate them at the finish line.
Meredith
Oh, this is close between Nash Murdock and Cam McLeod, and exact same time, it seemed. But Murdock got him. 23.311 seconds behind the leader, both of them.
Must be very close. My time in town show Cloud beating Murdock.
Oh wow, okay. So
maybe we'll have to double check that when the actual timing thing goes off and it's once everybody's finished, because that's usually accurate.
Server's saying Nash, but I'm not sure if that's because he's. Looks like he is Nash. Wow, extremely close.
At the end. Yeah.
Only half a second separated Chris Refalo and Daniel Secluna as they roll around on their in lap.
Yeah. Very good drive from those two. They pretty much took it from the start to the finish after an unfortunate mistake from Rossley. Yeah, they managed to pull it through. So, yeah, Rossley the biggest loser out of that, coming out 23 positions down, unfortunately, and finishing in 25th.
I think it's very early on, clearly. But he's already a bit of a championship hope, I feel. And yeah, look, not a great way to start with 25th position. But we'll see if he can pick it up again in the second race, which is coming up in a moment. It'll be 120 kilometres, 31 laps, 13 backwards.
Yeah, all good to make those mistakes, just as long as he learns from them.
Okay, we'll return shortly with this second race. I'll just run through the final finishing order, which was Chris Refalo from Daniel Cicluna, and then Alex McEwen. Will Newell finished 4th, which is very well done. Nicholas Gregg, and then Dylan Barton. Nick Mello, Riley Smith in 8th, followed by Sam Sargison, who I think's on his V8 debut as well. Jack Meredith, Scott Garrick in 11th, Nash Murdock, and then Cameron McLeod. Luke De Berardino, who I've spelt the name wrong in the server, which is good, there should be another R. Paddy Donnelly, Jack Callister, Josh Hill, and then Adam Betts, followed by Eddie Bestwick, Ethan Cale, Lee Childs, Aaron Refalo, Vic Chan, no, and Fatal to Black before I could finish. Adam Betts, Eddie Bestwick, Ethan Cale in 20th, Lee Childs, Aaron Refalo, Vic Chan, Noah Dinduk, and then Bernie Russley, Daniel Mangan, and Harris Single. Right, one more to come.
Yeah, stick around.
Not much more to say, stick around. We are back and on the grid. So, race 2 is coming up, and so I should change the thing over there to say race 2. This one will be 31 laps instead of 13, so it's a fair bit longer. But Chris Refalo will start on the pole position, and Dennis O'Cluna is going to start second, right where he finished. Then it's Russley, Newell, followed by Riley Smith, and then Dylan Barton, Nick Mello, Alex McEwen and Eddie Bestwick in 10th. Cam McLeod, Luke DeBerardino, and then Nicholas Gregg, Jack Meredith, Jack Callister, Nash Murdock, Scott Garrick, Vic Chan, Noah Dundalk, and then Adam Betts. Paddy Donnelly, Josh Hill, Harrison Gould, and then Ethan Cale, Daniel Mangan, Lee Child, and Sam Sargerson. And Aaron Refalo as well, who is yet to join. There's a couple of people who we still haven't got in, but I'm sure they will be in soon enough.
2 minutes to a race start.
2 minutes to the race starts.
Interesting to see how this race differs, being, you know, a longer race. They've all had that, you know, warm-up race to hopefully get some mistakes out of the way. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of moves are made here, whether, you know, people go for a bit more of a conservative strategy in order to protect the tyres a bit. The Super Soft's pretty good around here, though. Yeah, should be an interesting... it'll be interesting to see what the difference is. So much pace here, you know, particularly for drivers like Russley, who obviously just didn't have a good race last time around. He starts 4th here, so he's, you know, kind of back up in it. He gets another shot at pushing for a better position and hopefully some points, considering his qualifying pace. That's definitely something that will be a little bit, hoping for a bit of redemption, I think, at this point, and hopefully he maintains his composure for all that. That's a good point.
This is
Bit
right.
of can we use this? We're a little bit late,
yeah,
but we
we've
didn't
not
do
got
a
much time.
livery walk.
Do so next
Do
week?
that later.
I don't know. It's been all a bit frantic, to be honest, trying to get prepared for this, but well, the hard work's going to pay off. It's race 2 of the championship with Chris Refalo on pole, Aaron Refalo at the back. It's a grid bookended by Refalo. So, coming up into the start of this race, the lights coming on with Refalo on pole, Cicluna on the outside, away in racing in race 2. Even start for the front 2, Cicluna maybe a little bit worse, and look at Russley, he's going to come across on the inside and take second position. There's a little bit of bumping in the back, there's a car well off, that's Lee Childs, who is well off the track at the first corner.
Yeah, McEwen, Barton, both dropping quite a number of positions. Jack Allister's completely off the track, all the way at the rear end there. Not going to be happy. And yeah, Paddy Donnelly as well. Both going for an excursion at turn 1.
Chris Refalo went wide at turn 2, but Cicluna went even wider. He's down into 4th place. Refalo didn't lose the position. He still sits at the top with Russley just in behind.
Lots of positions, swapping going on all over the field. It's hard to know where to put some attention here. There's a lot of movement going on, as you probably see in the timing tower. Yeah, all down in that sort of those lower positions. Barton swapping, rubbing doors with Chan. Again, you know, similar to what we saw. Sargerson then there as well. They're almost 3 wide coming into the corner. Seem to pull out of it though. Maybe they've got their thinking hats on this time, you know, and thinking about their position. But yeah, there's a lot of overlap here. Cars very wide. That's Stengel going off into the dirt a little bit too much there. And then it's just
wow.
And just keep together, but wow, what a exciting first lap. Lots of actually going on there. Not a big number of position changes. outside of one who pulled out at the start who went off the track. And obviously Cyclone was in position there too. But mostly everyone's kept reasonably in the same positions. But wow, lots of movement happening there. That was difficult to keep track of.
Alex McEwen currently sits 18th, which is a fair way down on where you'd expect him to be. There's a lot of movement going on. Let's go back to this battle actually, because it's pretty serious. It was Paddy Donnelly who went off before him. I called that wrong, I'm afraid. I said Lee Childs. This is Lee Childs with Dylan Barton, who's also dropped back a serious number of positions. McEwen is just up ahead, and Childs is going to get around the outside of Barton. It's a great move, actually.
Very good move back at the back there. Barton getting hassled. Some more position changes just behind them with Josh Hill going at it with Kale. Mansion back there as well. Lots of action happening down that lower end.
It's pretty serious. They're all over the road like Brown's cows.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard enough to keep these cars in a straight line when you're just on your own, and it's even worse when you've got people all around you like that and hassling you. So, it's a credit to most of these drivers that they're not just falling off the track at every corner. Like, you know, these cars are not easy to drive, and they're even harder to drive in a full race situation like this, especially with so many quick drivers around you. But the front, once again, much more under control and settled. But Russell's second now, so he's made a good gain there, so he'll be looking to hold on to this.
Oh, Bestwick's in trouble.
Yeah, yes,
I think he was off wide at turn 2, and he's dropped a few positions. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now has to try and hassle his way past Nicholas Gregg, who's just on the edge of the top 10.
Yeah, just outside. Definitely the closest battle there. 10th, 11th and 12th, very close together. You look all the way down at timing power, there's not many gaps between the cars, with Newell taking Cicluna.
There's a reason why.
Dropped off. Yeah, Cicluna's completely dropped off there. Falling all the way down. That's, I'd be happy with that.
See if he can get his pace back later in the race. He was so quick in the first race. Right up on the back of Refalo.
A lot of race experience to be honest, though. I think he'll do well there as everybody starts to do a little bit better times. Beswick looks to have gotten better reg there, but there's a little bit of a battle happening behind. Nicholas Gregg going too wide through up to turn 2. He's gonna push for an overtake. Doesn't quite make it. He's holding on. They're very close together. He's got the inside there though, so Gregg's probably gonna have to back out, which he does. Smart move there. He's still maybe looked at the lap counter and said, hey, I've still got, you know, a few laps to go here. Maybe just hold off for a second and get him when he's weak a little bit later down the line.
Scott Garrick in that one as well. He's getting past, beating him, banging a bit with DiBerardino.
Garrick now going to be under attack from Sargis behind too. He needs to regain himself there and not lose more positions. But yeah, doing
DiBerardino's
okay.
wide.
Yep.
Not massively wide, but
Just to hold onto it. Okay.
keeping an eye a bit further up the road because Nicholas Gregg and Bestwick going for it as well. We'll see if there's a move on down here at the second corner.
Well, we've had McLeod has gone
Into the pits.
to the pits. Gone for his
First one, so
First.
only 5 laps in.
That's an early pit stop, but maybe he just wants to get out of all the traffic and get some clean air.
Can see why, I'd be terrified.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, you know, it's all down to that, you know, how close these guys are in terms of pace. It's really down to consistency and those kinds of things that are going to decide who makes it through the race. And yeah, when everyone's so close together in terms of pace, you're going to be struggling. Unfortunately now, Stargazer making a move on Garrick, looking to gain position back. Garrick did very well in defense there, actually. Stargazer compromised by that, and now he's getting pressured back by Sheridan as well. But he manages to keep position. Sheridan, I think, not quite holding on to it there.
Meanwhile, here's Dendulk and McEwen, who's working his way back up. 13th place for him at the moment. Vic Chan is holding firm just behind as well. Battle for 13th place. Oh, look at this move! Oh, he's off the road. So that was Jack Meredith, who got bumped off by Nash Murdock, who was going for a move down the inside.
I think I can hear Jack Meredith from here.
It was a pretty serious crash.
That was a pretty seriously bad rejoin there, Jack. I'm not sure what you were thinking there, but I don't think
what's happened?
Red hot in here. Right, he managed to get away with it, but yeah, that was an angry rejoin if ever I've seen one. And I can understand why.
Secluna and Mello were side by side and nearly blew up as well. So as Mello was being run out a bit wide.
Meredith falling under attack here, dropping down the timing tower as well. Perhaps maybe a little bit too much wear on those tires due to that accident.
Oh my god, I can't use this camera.
Refalo continues to pull away. Now 3.4 ahead of...
Oh, the Nash reign of terror continues. He gave Bestwick a little bit of a bump coming out of the last corner. Side by side down the main straight.
And it's still going too. And but we've got Greg coming down the inside now too and making it 3 wide.
Oh, he's done it again.
Oh, I know. They've all managed to not die in that corner. That's pretty impressive.
Bestwick just cranked on the opposite lock and managed to collect it all up. Murdock doesn't take the position. Greg takes both of them. So up into 7th. And there's a big pack of cars coming as well in the form of Garrick, Sugerson and McEwen. I swear I say his name different every time. Anyway.
Just clarification. Write it in front of us. Get a phonetic guide to pronouncing names. Yeah, fantastic work there from Greg. That was he saw that opportunity and bold enough to hold onto it, going 3 wide through there. I didn't think it would work. It almost didn't, but he managed to hold on. Good work there for them. Greg's not out of the woods yet. He's still under attack from those behind. That gap up front, maintaining. Alex McEwen on Stargazer getting closer and closer.
Tell you who else is getting closer. It's Will Newell on Riley Smith for 3rd place. Riley Smith in 3rd place, by the way. Chris Refalo from Bernie Russley in front of them. And Newell is just looking down the inside. Gives him a little bit of a... just trying to force the door open.
Tap.
They're rubbing side by side through turn 3. Newell looked, but decided not to go for it at 4, which is the best choice, I reckon.
Maybe a bit of a test there, seeing if you can psych Riley Smith out a bit. Seeing where it is, but Newell doing very well. A newcomer to VRL. Newell, yes?
Yep.
Yeah, so good to see some of these newcomers doing well in the races and battling it with some of the regulars. Right, Smith ahead. Definitely not letting up. not intimidated, that's for sure. And I think he wants that podium. And he's pushing for it. But we still got more than 20 laps to go here, so lots of time left. And whether or not anybody come out on top remains to be seen. I see. May have missed it earlier. Sengel is out. DNF.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Not quite sure what happened to him. But,
First,
just pointing out.
I think the first retirement of the night.
Yes, first retirement overnight. Beswick has taken Nicholas Gregg though back there in 7th.
Oh, Newell gave Smith a bump through turn 3, and well, he's forced his way up into 3rd place. As a result, Riley Smith is not going to be happy. He's coming back. Is Newell just giving the position back? I think he is. And then straight away he gives him another tap.
Getting very close together there.
Wasn't even a tap, it was a full-on shove, that one.
Yeah, that was a proper shove. That was Ross Lindell was proud of that one. We've got like while that's happening, you've got Sargison and has been taken. Sargison losing positions now after being overtaken by Alex McEwen while we were watching that. But Riley Smith, as you talked about that, Riley Smith pushing back and taking that podium back. So these two are just smashing it. And,
No holds barred this battle.
Yeah.
Another big bump, and that's a full-on spin.
That's perhaps too much bar hill there.
Oh, Mello and Cicluna were lucky to get through that. And they're still going.
They're still going.
Down the main straight.
They're very unhappy with each other. Good hard racing here. Robin is racing, as they say, but I think there might maybe some stewards' inquiries in a bit later down the line.
Potentially.
After this race, because there's been a couple of moves like that, and maybe some of the drivers trying to get a handle on how things run here at VRL and exactly what they can get away with, and we'll have to see what the result of that is. But God, it makes for good watching regardless.
Mello and Cicluna, their battle has gained a little bit more weight in that it's now for 3rd place. As a result, as we keep an eye on the other two in the background. This has been hard fought.
We're all over Mello at the moment.
Still side by side.
Maintaining it. Wow.
I swear they've been side by side since the main straight. Still going.
Pretty much have, yeah. It's just again, it just shows how in control of these things some of these drivers are to be able to hold side by side. Like, these aren't small cars; these are big cars. They're heavy, and they don't have a lot of traction. There's no ABS, there's no TC, there's none of those assists that you get in GT3 cars or any of those other types out there, and it is really a challenge driving them around, and these guys doing it all the way around an entire circuit, basically side by side, and that just shows you what the level of the guys we're looking at here and how competitive they really are.
Riley Smith decides to pit.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
First
Mello is still holding in 3rd place. Cicluna's got a big dive on down the inside, too much on it, and has gone well wide now. Newell will find himself in another battle, this time with Nick Mello. Mello was a little bit wide at 2 as well. It's just seemed to be the last of the late breakers, and Cicluna went a bit too far. He's 4 seconds off these guys now. Still holds 5th place, however, but will be under a little bit of pressure from Bestwick behind, who's only 4 tenths behind.
So a few drivers jumping in the pits then. So Donnelly go in. Barton, who's just been overtaken by Donnelly. Riley Smith, Nicholas Gregg, Dental, Kale all going in for their pit stop at around the 11 lap marker. It's still a little bit early, but just depends on what kind of strategy they're going for here. I think again, when you look at how busy the track is, that really brings that up. I mean, when do you pit if you're engaged in a battle like these two are here? Nick Mello and Newell still going at it after all this time. Really looking to gain that position. we are starting to see a few more gaps develop between some of these drivers. Refalo maintaining a very strong lead there, and all the battling behind him doing him immense favours. And it really is just Refalo and Russley who are just holding on there and just driving a nice, clean, consistent race at the top. Nobody really challenging them, and all this attacking behind is just helping them gain more and more time and put that lead ever more out of reach.
At 12:31, Chris Refalo remains your race leader by 6 seconds now over Bernie Russley. And then 9 seconds back of these two, Will Newell and Nick Mello. Oh, my computer needs a break, mate.
It's okay, Bob.
Under lights at Sydney Motorsport Park. It looks good though.
Does look good.
Especially with all of these custom liveries that people have put together that you've no doubt noticed as we've gone along.
I said it before, just fantastic job. As someone who appreciates a good livery, just excellent work has been done here. It's nice to see. Almost the entire field as well has been custom painted to some degree. With only a few people opting to use existing liveries or liveries that are part of packs that you can download. So really good there.
He's starting to cool off here. Newell is pulling away. Spot on. There's Nash Murdock as he rolls down the pit lane. Alex McEwen. Oh, hang on. Does this work? Oh, it does. There you go. So you'll see McEwen's point of view. I think... Is he in VR? Oh, he had a big snap. Managed to get away with it.
Garrick once again showing he can make that L33 pretty wide through the corners, making life difficult for McEwen. Alex is in VR. Thank you.
There you go.
Scott,
So that's probably why we can see a bit more of a driver's eye view.
Is it more commitment to be able to race like this in VR?
Some people I think have tried to pull off Bathurst in VR, which is impressive. 161 laps.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that.
6-hour race. Garrick was in the dirt on the exit of turn 2, and McEwen's going to take advantage of that, leaping down the inside, and he will
Beswick.
grab the position.
Two other drivers entering the pits now, Beswick and De Beriden. Look at where people are. So Refalo's up one position, obviously now into first place. Rusley's gained 2 from 4th position where he started. You got Newell in 2nd. Mello in just gained. Sorry, Newell up 2. Mello's gained 4. Sakuna's dropped 2 positions, so one of the only people in the top 10 who have lost from the starting position. Garrick gaining 10 positions, Sargson doing the most work, 19 positions, gaining all the way up to 8th place at the moment. Obviously we've got pit stops involved here, and some of the drivers at the back have not pitted, and the drivers at the front have. So these changes aren't 100% reflective of where they are, but it just shows you just how much change there's been in only 15 laps so far. But we are almost at the halfway point. As we watch Meredith, who's another VR user, I know that is obviously doing that for tonight's race as well, chasing down Charles there.
Child's doing very well for himself. Gave a big bump to Meredith coming down into turn 6 though, and made him a little bit wide. But anyway, Riley Smith is getting involved in this as well. Oh, now he's already coming past Meredith. He's on fresh tyres, remember, he's just pitted. So he is carving his way through this field.
Yeah, try to take advantage of all that extra grip he's going to have over some of these guys. Especially Meredith, who would have definitely, and both Meredith and Charles probably not on the best. Oh, as they make contact once more. Meredith's completely sideways. Oh, and he gets hit again. Oh, dear.
So it's both Childs and Meredith off. Then Callister looks all out of shape as well. The ABR cars are
Safety car
Hasn't
not
been their
going
weekend so
particularly
far.
well.
Max car stopped.
Oh, there is a safety car. Well, this changes things. We'll see who's going to dive into the pits. Chris Refalo is the first one.
Yes.
Takes the opportunity exactly at the right time.
Oh, Bernie Russley. He ran out wide. Is Dylan Barton
He's a lap down, yeah.
lap down, isn't he? So
Yes.
that doesn't really matter.
Teammates, you'd imagine that'd be a fairly, should be a fairly nice overtake there.
Action in the pit lane though. Look at this.
Yeah, it's full. Suggs and Betts, Chan, Callister, Donnelly, everybody. Murdock. No, Murdock's still out. So it's going to be interesting to see how this changes things up, because obviously some of those drivers who went for earlier pit stops won't quite get the advantage that they perhaps wanted with the undercut, now that there has been a safety car period.
Right, thank you.
But we'll just have to see how people stack up at the end of it, as most of the drivers now leave the pits at pretty much roughly the halfway mark. So it's a good time for a safety car to get to the 50% distance.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But it's almost like we planned it.
Half-time break.
Yeah, half-time break.
Stretch your legs.
So just looking at it a moment. So Rusty just coming in for pits.
I'm going to get a message from Max Spivey, I'm sure, in a moment. What's he know about? Will Newell and Bernie Russley are going to come into the pits a lap later, which is interesting. And Chris Refalo is going to regain the lead.
Yeah, so this means a stop for everybody now. So everybody has made a stop. With a couple of drivers, Cicluna having made 2 stops now. So taking the opportunity to freshen the rubber there. Dork 2 stops, Barton 2 stops, and Kale also on 2 stops. But that is everybody pitted for the race so far.
Yep, I'm just trying to figure that out now. Yep, when everybody's bunched up, I'll get them probably, yeah, I'll get them to
Yeah, if you look at how long
when I say so.
everybody's been on the tyres as well, coming into the safety car period. So obviously the people who've just pitted, they're on 0 lap tyres, but there's a few people out there who's been doing the long runs with Chan, Jack Callister, a lot of the guys there in sort of 8th position down to roughly about 15th, have all done almost 16 laps completely on the tyres that they've got. Not many changes going on there. How is everybody in the chat? Have we got any favourites for the win? Do we reckon it's Refalo? I mean, I put my money on Refalo if I was a betting man. But any shout-outs to any drivers that you want to give? Any questions in the chat? I'll be sure to answer them while we're in these quiet safety car programs. A good opportunity to settle back a bit from the race from a wider perspective and just talk to you.
reckon McLeod's having troubles.
So, I wonder, faulty data, or have some drivers pitted without changing tyres?
Yeah, but what are you relying on for that?
The one of the can't remember what it's called. One of the in-game apps. ACTV.
Yeah.
Oh, that one? Yeah, no, don't.
Yeah. Because it seems wrong. It's like they've been on the same tyres for 17 laps. I'm like, surely they changed tyres at some point. But then some of the other guys, it's accurate. It's like, yeah, they've been on those tyres for 2 laps. That's
It's
right.
just a weird app.
Yeah. I'll have to see if I can find something similar to what I used on ECC, which does work quite well. See if we find something like that. 'Cause it's good to have that data, especially in these kind of points where you can sort of look and analyze things to look into the future. Improve the viewer's experience a little bit. Probably ready to get racing fairly soon.
Soon. I
Lights
think
out.
we're just trying to sort out this last little issue. And then we'll let lap cars pass and get ready to go racing. So it'll probably be one more after this.
Okay, all laps cars, please pass to the right hand side. Please that will go to the left. Very well. Yeah, green light on, go to the left hand side.
Oh, he's got the green light on the car as well. Brilliant. He's figured out how to actually do it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's just
Okay, all laps cars have passed.
Have they? Okay, we're good.
Safety car in this and this time I will say green and yeah, you was that behind me still, sorry mate, just because you left the game, it just needs to that time, but it's absolutely fine. Guys, no reason. Was Chris take control of the field? The safety car will now
So safety car's moving away. Okay, almost ready to get going for a restart here with just a smidge over 12 laps to go. Chris Refalo will lead them away once more. Bernie Russley is right in his mirrors. We'll see what he can do off the start. Riley Smith is back up into third after everything's shaken out. It's then Will Newell, Nicholas Gregg, Nick Mello, Alex McEwen, Eddie Bestwick, Scott Garrick, Sam Sargison, Nash Murdock and Luke de Berardino. Followed by Betts, Callister, Chan, Cicluna, Donnelly, Meredith, Mangan, and Dawkin 20th. So things are starting to shake out again.
as they come around here, very close alongside there. Make sure he doesn't pass before the start finish, which he doesn't, which is good. And we have Newell there trying to take advantage on the restart, but falls back in behind. They all kind of go through. It's like everybody went through in single file. Yep, holds well all the way to the back. Yep, no major incidents there that I can see. So
Newell's
good
got a big move on Riley Smith down at turn 2, and he's got it past up into third place for Will Newell as he comes through turn 3. Consolidates. Nick Gregg sits in 5th at the moment, right up behind his teammate. And Nick Mello's there as well, his former teammate.
Yeah, it's just reignited all those battles we were watching before. It does give some of the drivers a bit lower down a bit of a chance to regain some of their lost time as well, with a couple of positions. Cyclona moving up. Oh, no, Cyclona's off. He's off. Looks like a bit of a tap there. I'm not sure from who. I didn't quite
Jack
catch it on the
Callister
land.
is another car that's off. I reckon there's been an incident between those two. Quite a bit further back. Alex McEwen's in
McEwen's out.
trouble.
Ooh, at the hairpin, that's a bad place to be off.
And so his bet's on the other side. So drivers are having to sandwich themselves in between those two cars as they come out of turn 8. But it seems like everyone's gotten through okay. Chris Refalo leads from Bernie Russ, leads by about a second, and then it's another second back to Will Newell as we enter lap 21. Just a bit, 11 laps to go now.
Yeah, Mellow.
Bestwick and Garrick side by side down into turn 1, and Bestwick's got the position.
Mellow's still charging down there on Nicholas Gregg. They're going side by side as well, coming around. Still maintaining it, doing the same dance they've been doing for a little while. Oh, there's a tap there from Mello. Greg will be a little upset about that as he loses the rear on the exit as well. So that's really done well for Mello. Oh no, and here Beswick went perhaps too daring there and has basically taken himself out there by hitting the side door of Nicholas Gregg. Nicholas Gregg getting through okay. But yeah, it has not ended too well for Beswick, who's now losing another position.
Not a chance to breathe
Murdock.
for him. Oh, and another
Murdock's
bump.
around. Ooh, Murdock just losing it there. Perhaps the tyres a little bit cooler than they were anticipating in that long safety car period.
Garrick now wide. It's not a
Yeah.
chance for a breath here. Daniel Cicluna, the big news, Daniel Cicluna's out of the race.
Oh, we missed that. Completely out of the race. Unfortunate. There. Perhaps he had a technical issue or something like that.
I would suspect it's because he's a fair bit further down the order than he would have liked.
That's perhaps it too. But we do know he had to. We had some technical issues with him before. He basically lost the championship last year because of some technical errors. So can't discount that because we know he's had those problems in the past. But we'll have to see. I'm sure we'll hear this full story later.
Or even now, there's a new one red in VRL. No, never mind.
Sarkison has pitted back in the pits as well. I'm not sure if that was a snapped pit. No, he must have pitted properly, so maybe picking up too much damage, or he hadn't pitted yet. Not sure what he was doing in there. And he's way down there now.
You would think he'd pit during the safety car.
You would assume so, yeah. So I'm not entirely sure what he would ended up doing in the pits there. But again, I'm sure the story will come out later.
Oh, Garrick, he's struggling to get it slowed at turn 8, but he's still going to try and make the pass on Nicholas Gregg. It didn't quite work out, but only because he got on top of the curve on the inside and lost all traction. But he nearly had that done.
Well, he's flying this flag for Team Nissan here. He's right up in there. He's the highest placed Nissan. Next one down being Chan, who's 14th. And I believe the other Nissan's retired, so he's doing it for his manufacturer there. But really close to Nicholas Gregg, and it's been a battle like this all race. And the safety car's just reignited that. Oh, Beswick takes it, and Beswick getting a few moments like that. We're noticing with these two cars, these HRT entries, they're getting a little bit biffy and bargy, and involved in a few incidents here. So perhaps maybe need to rewatch the race back afterwards and assess how they're approaching this, but gets away with it there. As Garrick losing the rear end there, that's going to give Beswick a very nice opportunity on the inside. Takes it pretty easily, pushes Beswick out. Pushes Garrick out wide, sorry. And but Garrick's still holding the line, and he's going to have the inside into the hairpin, which is the more advantageous line. I think he broke a bit deeper in there, but he's gone wide and switched back by Beswick. Tough scores a bit, but that's okay. Coming through and managing it nicely. And I think maybe Beswick's got this position, but I don't know. So every time you say that they've got it, the next turn they're being attacked by someone else. So, but I think maybe now they've got that under control and moved up into 8th position there.
Russley has dropped down into 3rd. He's 5 seconds off that 2nd place, so he must have made a pretty serious error to have dropped that far off. Nick Mello is now in his mirrors.
Some sort of error there definitely must be. Yeah, because Mello's caught right up and they were not particularly close together before. Get down the order. Still a few close little battles happening further down as well. Got Barton and right on the back of Murdock. Chan's not far behind him, and Alex McEwen's even closer to the back of Chan actually. Very close, within 0.2 of a second of him, so I think Alex is hoping to do it. He's just had a bonnet full of Nissans all race this time around. Just can't seem to avoid them.
Beswick's moving up the field. He's got Nicholas Gregg just in front of him. A very tight margin separating those two cars through some of these corners, especially there at turn 8, as they come through the last couple of turns now. And it's going to be all about getting the best exit off of here. Old versus new car, down the main straight. Beswick's got a bit of a slipstream going as well. He moves to the inside. Is he going to get the move done here at turn 1? Yes, he is. He's going to get it done before then.
Very nicely done there, but can he maintain it? No, and there's another touch and a disappointing end to that little battle there. Nicholas Gregg perhaps getting a little too close there.
He leapt off the curb, did Nick? Yep. So, and into the outside of Beswick. So,
Chan moves up into 13th, overtakes Dylan Barton, although Barton's still challenging up the rear of the grid. 13th position. Right on the back of Beswick.
it's been a while. That sort of driving will work its way out of the driver's systems over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. First round, everybody's a bit rusty, and these, as I said, these cars are pretty tough to handle. So those kind of mistakes, they may look intentional, but often they're just the car snapping slightly in the wrong direction, and they're very hard to reel back in once they lose control. So I think overall we've seen some pretty good driving from almost the entire field here, I'd say.
Chris Refalo continues to lead this race. 6 laps to go now, and 2.6 seconds separates him and second place Will Newell, who's on debut. Car 48, that's usually my number. I've given it up.
Berardino chasing Nicholas Gregg still, getting very close, only a few tenths there. I'll always see back in the grid, Barton and Chan still just trading positions there. Seems to be going back and forth back there in 13th and 14th. Just ahead of them, Alex McEwen putting a serious amount of pressure onto Nash Murdock.
Oh, big dive for McEwen here. Down the inside he gets. Murdock's going to look again. If he can get enough of an overlap here, he might have a chance. Doesn't do so.
And didn't quite have enough overlap there, and I think smartly backed out of it. I think a good bit of composure there. He's still going for a bit of an inside line there, but maybe waiting for a better opportunity to make that position back. But many laps now, actually, we're almost at the end here. In the chat confirming that he, quit. Wasn't a technical issue, just didn't wish to continue due to too many errors.
Oh, it's a car off. Was it Bestwick?
Yeah.
I just spotted it out of the corner of my eye. It was a red car. It's Eddie Bestwick, who was in 9th place? 8th place, I want to say. Maybe a little higher. No,
right down to
was quite a
16.
bit higher. Now Nick Gregg off. That's at turn 5. He's having a bit of a shocker, isn't he? And he's got Chan right up on the back of him. They're all having a check up and get around him.
Yeah, it's caused a bit of hassle for all the drivers close and around him as, Nicholas Gregg tries to slot back into the order somewhere, but there just isn't room between these cars, even this far into the race, even looking, towards the top of the field, Refalo and Newell, Newell's only 2.5 off Chris Refalo. Gap from Newell down to Rusty is one of the larger gaps on the field, but down the rest of the way, these guys were all really close to each other. And we have definitely seen the odd questionable moment from some of our drivers, but I think as you were saying before, first race in, people have got to be blooded a bit, a couple of new faces, getting to know everybody and how things work. So we try and give people the benefit of the doubt here, and I think overall we've seen reasonably good racing, but that's just from our perspective up here in the nice safe commentary box, not down there in the dirt with the drivers. You probably see it from a very different perspective. Certainly didn't entertain, that's for sure.
Absolutely right astern, Vic Chan, Nicholas Gregg, Dylan Barton, Jack Callister for 11th position. As they come up through towards turn 5.
Yeah, Barton chasing Gregg. Callister in the car behind. Yeah, there's just a big chain back there.
Meredith and Bestwick are latching themselves on as well.
Yep. Yeah, just wow. So many interesting things. It's hard to know where to watch.
Time's running out. There's going to have to be some do or die moves here soon.
Oh,
that's a
Bestwick's
die
lost
move
it.
from Eddie Bestwick.
Well, mentions off to a bit further back. Yeah. Just not sure if that was an error or if he got into a little bit of a sniff with Siverson there. But he's off. Only loses a single position. Meredith and Callister are back together, teammates. Really can do some good teamwork here at the penultimate part of the race as we come near the end of it.
Bestwick's had to enter the pit lane.
Yeah, so he encountered some form of significant damage. She's dropping him a few positions at this stage, down to 20 now. Probably won't drop much further.
Something happening with Alex McEwen and Paddy Donnelly here. By the way, Paddy Donnelly 7th. There's just things that pop up you don't notice until much later. And holy crap, how did he get there? McEwen makes the move on Paddy Donnelly. A pair of Falcons come through 7th and 8th position. And Deverduno might be with a sniff of one more position as well.
He's easy bets down the order is taking a position up there, Kale. Although the gap there is quite big, so maybe a spin for that there. McEwen quite a bit faster than Donnelly on that last lap, so I wonder if Donnelly can make it good. Donnelly's a good, consistent driver. You know, he's done well based on that. Doesn't generally get involved in a lot of accidents and keeps his nose fairly clean.
Lock up for Big Chan. And now Nicholas Gregg is moving over to the left and then back to the right. And then left again.
Yeah, a bit of probing and maybe a bit of mental games going on here as we come near the end of it. You know, people it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing too. You know, you're confident in your position. Yeah, both of these guys a bit far from being in the top 10, but the 11th place is worth fighting for. Especially first round of the championship, you want to start well. Right there, Nicholas Gregg right up behind there and really trying to get that last position before the end of the race.
Chan's well out wide.
Yep.
And he's dropped the position. So he'll slot into 12th, and Dylan Barton is going to be ready to make a move himself. 1 lap to go when they cross the line. Little bit of a touch to Chan and another one in there, both round. Callister managed to get through it.
Callister and Meredith say thank you very much. And just both breeze through there. Good team points for them out of that incident. So
they'll drive off into the sunset.
They'll both be, I'm sure they're both having a good laugh down the straight with each other in voice chat right now.
Berardino and Donnelly, as I said. Could well be a battle that's on at the moment.
Dropping off a little bit from McEwen now as we get near the end, so but that has left him vulnerable to Berardino. He's right up on his tail. Definitely a chance for a move. One of the best chances for a move left, I think. Everybody else is sort of split apart. The only other battle there is 18th and 17th position between Cyrus and Kale there.
Chris Refalo. Around the last corner, he comes towards the line and he will clean sweep the first round at Sydney Motorsport Park under the night sky. Bernie Russell is going to come across the line in second place. Oh, Will, what's happened to Will Newell?
Out of fuel.
He's out of fuel.
He's out of fuel.
Oh, no way. He was going to finish second place and Will Newell's run out of fuel. He's rolling down the main straight, trying to get across.
Roll the car across. He's dropped a number of positions because of that, down to 8th, 9th. Oh, he's not even going to make the top 10. Nicholas Gregg's coming. Nicholas Gregg takes a 10th, but it gets in the top 10. Callister and Meredith get another free one out of that. As Newell still hasn't crossed the line. The pit that line is so far away.
Oh, look at this! That was Kale and Sargerson.
Yes.
Super close to one another.
Super close there, but Kale looks to have gotten the better of it. Even Mangan might just grab another position here. Coming down the line, he does. Newell loses another position there.
There we go. 19th place.
Just makes it across the line. Just makes it across down from 2nd to 20th. That's a tragic end. I don't care who you are. That is a sad way to end your race.
Secluna doesn't think so.
He doesn't think he's got this there. Like I said, the stewards, I think, might be a bit busy after round 1 here, but well done to Chris Refalo. Just didn't look like losing. Excellent job. Yeah, and well done to Rossi there. A good recovery from the unfortunate second turn accident in the first race. So he's shown a bit more consistency there, and all having a nice little celebration at the end of the race there. Yeah, that was really great racing.
Some brilliant racing
was-
up and down the field. Okay. Our next race is in Melbourne. We'll be using the new layout. Fancy.
Back
So-
down to Albert Park.
Yep, quite look forward to that one. I hope you can join us in 2 weeks' time, same time. Hopefully a little bit more on time. We'll see.
With a bit better audio next time, hopefully, as well.
We'll see. Hopefully. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks, Mike, for the
Yeah, thank you.
co-commentary. Okay, I've already gotten a fair few sign-ups over the course of this race. I've gotten 3 more, so I'll hope to see those guys there as well. All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you next week. Next week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
There you go.